Shinami's probably gonna stay
Oh
in
my
the middle.
god. Oh my god. Shinami's still hiding. Chat, keep quiet. Oh my god, he hasn't seen him. It
Hametu
is.
is just gonna stand and try and buy more time. But
Mhm.
Shinami, honestly, this is such a risky play.
Woo!
He's not seeing yet.
Oh my
Pepe!
god! What?
Pepe!
Ppei! He didn't turn around! The crouch! He's not able to see the scratch. There's no scratch marks. And now he's still hiding. He's still
Oh my
giving
god!
information for Hametu to actually see him. Okay, he's vaulted the pallet, and now he's gonna go for the exit gate, but the down did happen. So is he gonna teleport? He's gonna go for the teleport. He teleports to the wrong gate!
Oh my god! Shinami!
Oh
Shinami!
my god!
He's gonna run out to the sunset. That's it.
Wow.
What just happened? Seriously, what just happened? COAVIII was perhaps one of the greatest, one of the best, and definitely one of the wildest tournaments we have seen to date. But this quarterfinals match between ZETA and TE is perhaps one of my favorites simply because it encapsulated the entirety of the IDV competition today. At this point, ZETA Division was way ahead of Trace Esports. After securing the first round 5-3, Peter would proceed to bring out Opera Singer to 4K TE in the first half of the second round. TE needed to 4K this game back, but luckily their hunter was Ppei, who had an Opera Singer as strong, if not stronger than Peter. Not only that, but TE chose the map in this round, which was Chinatown. Ppei needed to keep this team afloat and bring TE its only chance to make it to the semifinals. Even before this match, a big surprise hit the viewers as ZETA chose journalists. This was the first time we were seeing journalists from the side of ZETA, and the first we saw the entirety of COA Globals. As soon as the match started, Ppei immediately went for Fire Investigator, who was the weakest link in the team composition. Dolisu tries to use a ball to block Ppei out and force a charged hit, but a small slip-up caused Dolisu to take an incredibly early hit and would eventually get downed from a terror shock a few seconds later, with all the ciphers around 40%. Not only was this an incredibly early down, but Ppei had access to Abnormal to slow down the ciphers even further. Additionally, the Terror Shock gives Ppei the ability to guarantee max presence dash after one rescue, so long as he gets the hit on the rescuer. Hametu is forced out of the cipher as Opera Singer uses Abnormal and immediately made his way back to the chair to try and intercept Shinami. However, Shinami manages to pull off a clean rescue without taking a hit, stopping Ppei from getting max presence. Journalist goes for a second rescue to stall time with Tide Turner and have Dolisu run away from Shinami's new cipher. Dolisu eventually dies away from the ciphers, and while they do get the reset, another Abnormal from Ppei brings down another cipher back to 0%, and Kazuneko was clearly the next chase for the hunter. This is where we see one of the many things that encapsulates IDV tournaments. Kazuneko needed to kite for a very long time with a character nobody expected ZETA to pick. And he did just that. A daring vault, followed by an Orphe body blocked, followed by another daring vault, allowing the team to go from 3 ciphers all the way to 1. Unfortunately for them, the last cipher was nearby Kazuneko's chair, and the journalist had no more resources to get away from the cipher. The other 2 ciphers were also within Ppei's range, and ZETA had themselves stuck to a cipher lock situation. Hametu gets a free rescue, and with Tide available, Kazuneko was able to quickly leave the last cipher, and Ppei makes the switch to Shinami to force out his last watch. Ppei then makes the brilliant play to teleport to Hametu, who luckily managed to heal Kazuneko up off the ground. Unfortunately, he took a hit right after, and journalists quickly went down. After Shinami takes a hit, Hametu clutches a rescue, but with no borrowed time and ciphers still around 70%, Kazuneko would go back to the manor before the final cipher popped. 2 survivors now remained at endgame, and with Hametu going down early, Ppei was on pace to get a 4K. Until this happened.
He's not gonna use teleport. He knows what's up. He knows that the moment he gets Gardner down, Shinami's probably gonna stay
Oh
in
my
the middle.
god. Oh my god. Shinami's still hiding. Chat, keep quiet. Oh my god, he hasn't seen him. This is
He hasn't.
crazy.
Wow, this is such a small area to hide from. And
Uh-huh.
Shinami, instead of rushing to gate, decides to play the slow game and hide around middle. Ppei, who had tinnitus, attempts to find Shinami, yet somehow, someway, he misses Shinami by a sliver multiple times. This is another thing that we see in IDV tournaments, the aspect of luck. It's common in esports that luck can sometimes come into play, and in this match specifically, it may have just given them a chance to clutch a single escape. Hamitu picks himself up with exit path, and Ppei gives up on finding Shinami and goes straight towards Gardener. Hamitu stays within the corner of the map, forces Ppei to jump to one of his shadows, and knocks Hamitu once again. This is still a 4K. All he has to do is to teleport to the...
Ports to the wrong gate.
oh my God, Shinami! Shinami! And he does not have. He does.
This marks the third aspect of IDV competitive. How the smallest decisions can be the difference to get an extra escape. You may be quick to say that Ppei made a blunder, and to an extent, you're right, but you're looking at the wrong mistake. Let's head back a bit. Ppei may have not found Shinami, but he clearly knew that Shinami was closer to the Umbrella Gate. As Ppei went back, Shinami made the daring play to go to the further gate, which was the Lantern Gate. Hamitu, who lost exit path, knew that he likely didn't have the resources to kite Ppei for any longer. He knew the two things he had to do. First, he chose to stay within the corner even though it was dashing distance to the gate. This was likely a move to make Ppei think Shinami is at the other gate, and Hamitu is attempting to maintain as much distance as possible. But second and most importantly, he forced Ppei to use his skill to jump to his shadow, which meant it was on cooldown. This was Ppei's blunder. If he had not chosen to jump back and try to use his dashes to down Gardener instead, it was very likely that Ppei could teleport to the wrong gate and still have the speed to get to First Officer's gate after jumping back. Instead, he was forced to gamble, and ZETA used the information game to make Ppei teleport to the wrong gate. Whether those last few sequences were intentional from ZETA is something we won't know. Maybe until they upload the VC recording of that match. But that's what makes competitive IDV one of the most interesting games to watch. It feels like at any point in time, momentum can swiftly swing to another team's favor. Whether that's a godlike rebound kite, whether that's pure luck, or whether that's a stroke of genius. ZETA would, spoiler alert, wind up becoming the champions this COAVIII, and the first in COA history where the champion came from the global server. Their match against TE shows one of their quality traits as a team, that even if someone from the team has an off day, everyone else can pull the weight back to their favor. And perhaps with a little bit of luck, a little bit of skill, and a little bit of genius, that gave them the opportunity to take the trophy home. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you appreciated it. I have not made a video in a long time. If you guys are interested in more content like this, please like and subscribe, and maybe even comment your favorite team or favorite moment this COA. Hey, I might cover it. Anyways, thank you so much for watching once again, and I'll see you next time.